Hey everybody, CVH here, and today we're going to be doing some gameplay of a very greedy mid-range archer list. So I was testing a little bit of the deck, variants of the theme on stream earlier today, and Turquoise Link showed me a list that he's been working with, and he said he enjoyed it quite a lot, and it was pretty greedy. He had 3 copies of Vigilant Giant, 3 copies of Eclipse Baroness, a bunch of other late game stuff, really sacrificing some of the early game. I've edited things slightly. I'm not exactly sure how close I still am to the original build that I saw from him, but I did want to take this to the ladder and just see how it goes. The idea being that, you know, if we make it against any sort of control deck, we can definitely outvalue them, and hopefully still have enough early game, some prophecies, some efficient removal to deal with the aggro decks that we might see. Notably, we did give up the Goblin Skulk Curse package that a lot of Archer decks have been playing. I'm sure you guys have seen a little bit of that if you've watched any of my other videos or streams on the deck. So let's see what we have for game 1. A hand full of some high-cost stuff. Not even really that bad compared to what we could have. I wonder if that's a bugger, if he's actually that rank. I'm not sure how many people are at Legend at the time of me recording this, but he would be the lowest I've played this season if that is the case. So let's full ship and try to get something cheaper. We got Brotherhood Slayer. And still a good amount of high-cost stuff. Honestly, the curve isn't that bad. The curve really isn't that bad. Not as bad as it would seem. Like, if we were against an aggressive deck right now, at least we'd have some game. We'd have a Rapid Shot, we'd have Brotherhood Slayer to potentially get us to a turn 4 5-drop. Unfortunately, no Thieves Guild or Cut Purse, which are our ideal starts.
Clear your mind and retract your claw.
Wow, if he's playing that in Mage, that sort of gives me the idea that he's playing Prophecy Control Mage with a ton of prophecies.
Just give me a name.
But it's okay, because we're not an Archer deck that really needs to be too aggressive as far as phase attacks during the first few turns. Let's hope this doesn't get Fire Bolted, Crushing Blown, or Lightning Bolted. I guess that's a little bit annoying too. I really don't have a whole lot to do about that. I think I'll be rapid shotting the 2/2. Probably just preemptively trading in there to make sure I can Leaf Lurker next turn or something like that. This would give me a decent enough Skaven next turn. Now, is there any chance he's an aggressive deck?
It's nothing personal.
I am not so sure how likely that is. Doing this would maybe be bad against an aggressive deck, because he would have to do the attack on the creature if he wanted to clear it in the first place. He's just going in. He's breaking stuff. Playing another Hive Defender. So we could Cliff Racer left and immediately kill the 3/3 and set up to trade with the 2/1. Could potentially clear up that section of the board at least. Blood Dragon is the biggest threat we could play, but it's also a pretty big Javelin target. Leaf Lurker gets the job done as well, though. And I think it just gets the job done slightly better because we're left with a 4/3 instead of a 4/2. Excuse me, a 4/1. So we actually favorably trade with that. Yeah, that seems to be the play.
The forest is my cloak.
And I'm okay with that. I'm not feeling too threatened by this single Hive Defender, but these attacks from like what looks to be a very defensive deck make me think that he has a pretty good follow-up plan. And we are still playing from behind, as good as our hand is right now. So we can try to remove some of this damage by playing Murkwater Shaman, Protector of the Innocent. Seems like the only real play to me. We can play them both in the left, soak up one of these attacks with the Protector. I'm okay with the 1-for-1 Shaman. We shouldn't really have a bad trade to worry about with that. Yeah, I like it.
We'll see how they like someone who fights
Well,
back.
we could play a Shaman in the right. If we're doing that, though, we really have to take care of that next turn, guaranteed. But I think that's fine. I think we can handle that. Makes it more likely that it'll survive. Just in case he'd have a Firebolt and be able to trade up, we'd rather him do that with the Leaf Lurker instead of my Shaman. We knew one of those was gonna happen. Is he just gonna keep punching my face?
The ambition of the Telvanni knows no bounds.
Would have been nice for him to not ring here, but you know, you take what you can get. So we could theoretically block all of this damage this turn by trading with Cliff Racer and going for another Protector of the Innocent in the right. How much do we care about this 3 damage? Because besides that, that trade's not doing a whole lot for us. Could simply play Astrid in the right, it would contest it better. We could simply play Belligerent Giant. And then we'd be staring down only 3 damage as well. It'd be 3 damage of a less powerful body, make him replay it. I'm liking the Belligerent Giant play. This really encourages him to trade as well. Still going to take the favorable. If he has a Firebolt, he might trade into the Belligerent, and at this point, I'm just okay not taking face damage. Like I said, if we can make it to the late game and feel comfortable in our position at that point, we should be in a good position to win. It could be a mid-range deck. He could have Atromancers to fall back on. I'm not thinking it's a too aggressive of a build with the Priest of the Moons and everything. Remains to be seen, though. He took the trade really fast, almost as fast as he's been going face the rest of the game, so I wonder what changed. Quite a defensive play from an opponent who's been making very aggressive plays the rest of the game. So what do we know? We know he has Hive Defender. We're likely to have to deal with that again pretty soon. We also need to think about what's possibly the worst possible case scenario, which is Atromancer coming down next turn. Blood Dragon, Protector of the Innocent, or Blood Dragon Astrid seems to be our best possible answer to that. It's not looking amazing. We'll see if he still plays reactively or if he has a very powerful 9-drop. It's going to summon some Atronachs against me here. Really hoping he doesn't. Archer has never been super well equipped to deal with Atromancer and usually has to rely on just pressuring until they reach the Atromancer turn, but we have not had the hand, nor really the deck to do so. Would have been possible if he was playing as a typical control mage player and not really applying pressure to the board, but that's really what he's been doing this entire game until last turn. Last turn was the first turn that he didn't really pressure me further.
Elements, I summon thee.
Well, the issue now is just being burned out. Wow. Well, he can't kill me with it next turn. This is a very interesting turn. Well, he actually could kill me the next turn if I don't guard the 5-3, so I have to do that. I have to guard the 5-3 with my Protector of the Innocent. I guess I'll trade my Astrid in, try to keep my Blood Dragon healthy. Use the completed contract. I have to kill him in 2 turns as well. I don't have any game past that, and I don't know if it's possible. I'm leaning toward it not being possible, which is unfortunate. We could just play Vigilant in the right. Adds a lot of power to the board as well. I think it's fine.
The void awaits you.
We have successfully drawn a playset of Triumphant Jarls that we can never play. Hooray. Maybe he doesn't go for Atromancer here. Maybe he goes... there's no way he doesn't go for Atromancer here. I am not seeing that. But hey, if we draw Earthbone Spinner, and then we Thieves Guild into another Earthbone Spinner, it could be good. We could be okay. Man, we are so close to killing him next turn if he played Atromancer, but we're just not quite there. There's no way he doesn't go for it,
A
right?
little distraction might prove useful.
Is this my lucky day? Is this what it's like to live? I am taken aback, guys. Can color me surprised. Well, there's the Hive Defender. And not the least of the crazy things about this play being that he would straight up get wrecked by an Unstoppable Rage. Just the most wrecked you've ever seen in your life. Well, now what do we do? I think we're going to be attacking over that 3/6. Right into a Prophecy. First turn Prophecy still hurt a lot on turn 10.
By our service, we honor kind.
That's bad. It's quite bad. It doesn't kill me. I'm still at the spot where I can never kill him next turn, though. And even though he gave me basically another turn, it's not really something that I can change based on top decks. Unless I was playing Unstoppable Rage, and that'd be pretty amazing.
As long as I draw breath.
So the idea with this play is we're pretty much dead to Atromancer, but I felt like that was the case last turn as well, and I said there was no way he didn't play it, and he didn't play it, so maybe he just doesn't play it again this turn. He could just be playing with me. I can't imagine the play he made last turn being better than Atromancer by too much. Especially considering he could flood the board after Atromancer's stuck. Alright, well again, it's not Atromancer, but this is horrible for me as well.
Behold my power.
Now, I can see this one being better than Atromancer. But I am still dead to that card. So, Thieves Guild, Belligerent Giant. Belligerent Giant's okay.
As long as I draw breath.
Well, we can Belligerent Giant back the Manacora, thereby sacrificing it essentially because he can just replay it. Play Fighter's Guild Recruit. And if all goes well, we'll have 5 damage coming at him next turn. There is just no way out of this. This is awful. There is just no way out because we can't leave it or we'll lose to it. Could leave, we could bounce that, then he'll just trade favorably with this.
If I fall,
Yeah, there's no way out of this one. There hasn't been a way out for a while. He got very aggressive for what is clearly not an aggressive deck, but he capitalized on my poor start. And I can't really blame him for doing so. He had Hive Defenders and other creatures, and they are not easy things for Archer to actually remove. All that's really left at this point is to see whether or not we die this turn or the next turn. Looks like it's going to be next turn. And at this point we can actually just safely concede because we have no heal in the deck, and we know he has the Atromancer. We just 100% know that's going to happen. We've reached the pinnacle of bad draws. 8 cards in our hand, 6 of which are Eclipse Baroness and Triumphant Jarl.
Fought well.
Given the constraints of the hand. But we'll try again, guys. We're not going to give up. We're going to play the Greedy Archer, and we're hopefully going to win a game. I believe in the greed. So if he was playing a normal Control Mage game plan, I think we would have been fine. I think our hand, you know, cards like Triumphant Jarl and Eclipse Baroness Would have gotten us far ahead. But since we were already behind, they just got us farther behind, which is kind of how they work. That's why the cards are balanced. They are very slow and very weak when you're actually having to answer things. Don't think I've played against this guy before. Let's see what happens. Try to do my best to remember names of people I play on the ladder. Doesn't always happen. Another mage. Alright, let's take our vengeance. Let's do it. Let's keep the Protector of the Innocent. It's not our ideal 2-drop against Mage. Does get firebolted very easily. But we will take it if we need to. Thieves Guild seems to be a better way to start, though. If we're going to do it next turn for sure, though, we might as well just ring into the Protector. Ring Protector, deal some damage.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
Could be the difference between getting a Triumphant Jarl off for the card draw and not doing so. Could have played around that if I'd played Thieves Guild first. We could just play Cutpurse now. Cutpurse is looking pretty good. Pretty good indeed.
They make it too.
I'm hoping he doesn't have a Firebolt still because he'd be able to double clear. That might be what he's trying to set up for, but he did full mulligan. So that would be a pretty ideal start to just have mulliganed into. Alright, good. So we like to see, and I think we could just play Murkwater Shaman now. That'll confuse his Lightning Bolt, hopefully. Barring Prophecy, of course, that could be a thing. We can defend it with Fighters Guild next turn. So I don't think he'll be able to deal with both of these unless he has Firebolt, Crushing Blow. Interesting to preempt that trade there. Not entirely sure how much of a fan I am of that. Because it does make him potentially very weak to this Fighters Guild, which we could just try to get the trade with.
What have we here?
Alright, so we have our plan for next turn. Let's play the Fighters Guild, hit for 3. We're not breaking a rune, so either ordering is fine there. And just pass and hope that he still doesn't have an answer for something with 2 health. Alright, there we go. Now we could simply double curse down the 3/3, which isn't like the greatest curses of all time, but it does free me up to play an early Jarl. Or I could play a normal timed Jarl and save my ring for something a little bit more expensive. And simply use Cliff Racer here, and I think that's more responsible. But is it more responsible because we get really wrecked by an Ice Storm? It's definitely a card he could be holding. I think I'm just going to go for the Jarl here. Well, depending on what happens. But it's looking like it's going to be Jarl. Well, I can't curse that, but I will just play Jarl in the left. So next turn might just be Cliff Racer, something like that. A Leaf Lurker would be quite the draw here. Rapid Shot could get us there, but Rapid Shot's still pretty good. Looking like Cliff Racer and the 1/1 can trade in. I can just use Jarl 1/1. Either way works, and then we hit for 4. Do break another rune.
Let none defile our temple.
I think now it's just fine to use the free curse here. There's nothing anywhere else on the board, obviously. Could be protecting our 3/3 here. Now you could trade into my Cliff Racer and Ice Storm, but we'd have the development first onto the board. And we top deck a Jarl to do so, and I think that's better than using Belligerent Giant on nothing just to potentially get lightning bolted. So let's draw some more cards. Try to do what we were supposed to do in the first game of this video, which is outvalue our opponents with our unending threats, basically. And we even have another Jarl if we want to, but now we have enough plays that I think we can do better things with our turn next turn. People are hitting some things off of some Fate Weavers tonight. That's kind of painful. In reality, since it was is turn 8, it's kind of like playing a piercing javelin and a 3-drop 3/3. Still, kind of hurts. Seen a javelin now. I kind of just want to go for Vigilant Giant. I think I will.
May the ancestors bless us.
Oh, does he automatically pull it? No, he could get Crushing Blow. And he does get Crushing Blow. That's huge. I think it's huge. I have to imagine that's good for us. Yeah, that's very good for us. Wow, that coin flip, man. That was a big one to win. So we can Ungolem, Jarl, and then 2-drop. Go wide on the board. I think that's fine. I'm gonna smack him first for 8.
The Night Mother will die.
Diversify the lane somewhat. I'm just gonna go for the aggressive 2-drop. I don't think we need to contest that with Fighters Guild. Obviously, he has a Crushing Blow if he really wanted to in the first place.
It's too easy.
Just gonna put the thing out there with a little bit more attack power. We already have a little bit of reach in our hand with the Cliff Racer. I was also testing Underworld Vigilante. I guess I should mention that since we're talking about Cliff Racer. I had to cut it to find all the space I wanted for this version, but it's definitely something to play with. It's kind of funny that he had to choose the lane with such less value, because that's how you play around Dawn's Wrath, essentially. That's what I mean to say. You know, you put the wide stuff that's you know, weak. We clumped it together in the lane with something of his. The one big thing and the 3 smaller things separated like that makes it really hard to get an efficient Dawn's Wrath. He had to couple it with Lightning Bolt to really clear anything. So I like that. We could Leaf Flicker that away. The cost of 1 damage to face. Leaf Flicker is a really obvious Crushing Blow target. He just used a Lightning Bolt, so we could play our 7/4. Or we could just go for Cliff Racer Blood Dragon, which I think is the best play of all. Cliff Racer over here. Biggest thing, don't want him to trade into it if we can help it. Blood Dragon can go over here again. So again, if he has only Dawn's Wrath and no other removal, or just the Dawn's Wrath and the Crushing Blow, we've played in a way to where we won't simply not have lethal. We will always have lethal if it's just Dawn's Wrath. Or Immolating Blast.
Won't hurt much.
Guess he can heal a bit.
History shall remember this day.
Hopefully just a bit. It's not too much healing. And we still have a lot of reload. We can just keep drawing cards. We can keep playing threats. Bunch of small stuff that we could just flood the board with or use for utility like Earthbone Spinner, Leaf Lurker, Rapid Shot. So I'm liking the hand. I think this is an example of the deck doing what it's supposed to do.
Let none defile our temple.
How many is that? It feels like a lot, but it's probably our last opponent. He's gotten me to think it's a lot. So it looks like we just have lethal, thanks to Midrange Giant and or Earthbone Spinner. Let's go for the Giant. I like playing Giant. So that's the deck winning. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. A bit of retribution against the Mage class. Sturdy Mage players either aggroing me down or stalling and trying to ruin all my fun. It's totally fine though. Got the win. Hopefully you all have enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like. Feel free to comment if you've enjoyed the deck. Let me know what you guys want to see on the channel. Subscribe for more strategy content, deck techs, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow my stream at the link in the description. I stream Elder Scrolls Legends daily, so hopefully I can see you guys. Ooh, nice epic reward. And I'll see you guys next time.